Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I am Mr. Blubberbutter. Let me change that angle. So I wanted to talk about and address why my channel's been so empty lately. As if you follow my channel, which not many people do, but if you do, you'll know that there's been quite a bit of silence on the channel. I think the last thing I posted, honestly, was a video explaining why I had been silent for a while before. It's not because I'm just letting the channel go and, I'm just having updates. It's because of personal issues. And the last almost 2 months, as I mentioned, my kid was born, my second child, and she had a lot of health problems. She was not gaining weight, and she was having a lot of projectile vomiting, which is always a bad sign. So we took her in, and I mentioned when we came out of the hospital at that point, hey, this is why I've been quiet, because after the birth there was complications. Now she was in the hospital, and now we're getting out, so things should be good. Well, they weren't, and she went back in later. Stayed for another week and a half, close to 2 weeks, and then got out again. And we were still having a lot of the vomiting issues, but they said we just had to feed her more frequently, smaller doses. We were doing everything we were supposed to, and it seemed like things were starting to go better, but the stress was really getting to us. And I'm not going to go into a lot of details because that's other people's stories. Maybe my wife can talk about it later. But she was in the hospital for a while, and as soon as she went to the hospital, I had a follow-up appointment with my daughter, which I thought was doing fine at the time. She had been vomiting a lot less. She had gained weight the day before. We came in, and the doctor, I'm not going to say the doctor's name, not a very intelligent doctor. I was very frustrated. She was clearly screening me for neglect, and I only know that because I'm a nurse and I work in the system. Obviously, that was frustrating to know what they were doing and not really say anything about it because, technically they were just checking up on your kid. But she got admitted, and I thought it was a stupid admission. I didn't think it needed to happen, and I was wrong. She's been at the hospital since then for like 2.5 weeks now. She's still in the hospital at the time of this recording. My wife is staying with her. I'm staying with my my 2-year-old. Yeah, she's not been gaining weight. During the first week and a half that she was there, she gained no weight at all. Kept bouncing back and forth between a couple ounces. Since then, over the last week, she has gained some weight. So right now they're theorizing it's a milk allergy, but before they were talking about how it was a cortisol deficiency, which could have been the adrenal gland. I'm not going to talk about it in this video. You can Google it if you want, or if you want me to make a follow-up video, I can. It basically, she wasn't getting the right amount of growth hormones because of potential deficiency, because the original labs were very low, and so they rechecked the labs, which is a process in and of itself, because apparently she was so dehydrated they could not get an IV. So they sent her down to radiology with people who were specialized in starting IVs on infants, and they couldn't get it either. And so they had to put it in a nasogastric tube in through her nose and into her stomach so they can pump her full of Pedialyte, which is basically baby Gatorade, to keep her hydrated enough so that the next day they could set in a PICC, which is basically a very long IV that goes into the arm peripherally and then ends up right above the heart. Basically, I'm generalizing here. So that they could give her fluids, so that they could give her give her the medicine and run several labs, draw some blood to check her cortisol levels, which ended up being just fine. So right now, as we stand, we're back to the drawing board. No clue what's going on. They're theorizing probably a milk allergy, but the last 2 formulas she's been on have been dairy-free anyway, and soy-free. So they're still trying to figure out. Anyway, my kid's in the hospital indefinitely. We still have no clue when she's getting out because we have no clue what the problem is, and she's been there for, I think, bordering on 3 weeks now. So that's the situation. My wife is out of her hospital visit. She's staying with my kid at the hospital. We're taking shifts. I see her every day, and I'm taking care of my 2-year-old and doing what we can. Anyway, I'll post this on Games After Bedtime and on Blubberbutter. I know that it obviously takes a huge hit on your channel to not have content, but I'm just dealing with a lot right now. Every day I record a little bit when I can, when Cadence is napping and nothing's happening, so I'll record some now, and I've done 1 or 2 live streams, short ones, since then. And I'll keep those up. Eventually I'll edit some of these videos and I'll start posting content again, but in the immediate moment, things are going to be kind of quiet. Just have a lot going on, I can't afford to be keeping up with all of these social issues, my kid being in the hospital and working full time, and then other personal things that I'm not going to talk about. So yeah, just explaining that that's where things are. In case anyone's curious, I finished the rest of Cry of Fear. I've recorded the entirety of Kindergarten, and I'm playing Little Nightmares right now, slowly. Video games and writing and music. I do all three. Those are my coping skills. So, you know, sometimes I have to kill virtual people online. Sometimes I need to write and vent my feelings, and sometimes I play on my guitar. So, anyway, I hope you guys understand. How long have I been doing this? It's been about 6 minutes. I'm going to edit this down. And it's just an update to let you guys know what's going on. And I'm sorry I haven't been posting content. I never wanted to be one of those guys, so every video is, oh, I'm sorry, I'll post more things in the future. But I feel like I have a legitimate excuse right now. Legitimate excuse. And I will get back to it. But it's just, I got to take care of these things first, you know? I hope you guys understand. Anyway. Y'all have a good one. Like I said, I'm posting this on both channels. I'm going to go. That's my dinner. I'm cooking dinner for Cadence. Have a good one. Bye.